we will just wait for a moment.
Morning. We just wanted to make sure that we could be up and ready, waiting for people to join us this morning. Good Friday.
Yeah, I think it's Good Friday, isn't it? So probably everyone will be having a lie-in today. So hopefully everyone's up.
And eating chocolate for breakfast.
Are you allowed the eggs now, or does it have to be Easter?
It might have to be Sunday, but I don't know. I think of it as being the whole weekend, really. So see how long.
I've been eating more chocolate for the whole entire lockdown anyway.
I know. It's a bit like Christmas time, isn't it? Between Christmas and New Year, where it's just sort of don't really know what day of the week it is, and drinking and eating chocolate. Sounds good.
Yeah, that's it. It's just more of an excuse, isn't it? It just feels like, especially now the sun's out and it feels like holiday time, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's been lovely. I think it's going to be nice today and tomorrow.
Is it?
Morning, Leanne. Morning, Catherine. How are you all doing?
Hello, Catherine. Hi, Leanne.
Nice to see you.
So we'll sort of make a start because it is 11 o'clock now, isn't it? So we will wait for obviously more people to come into the live, just so that, and there's a slight delay as well, isn't there, Justine?
Yeah.
So
we're just going to
give a little bit of advice and stuff just while we're waiting for kind of questions to come in. But yeah, we just want to hear about all of your makeup dilemmas and quandaries and what you want to know. So share with us what you'd like. Hello, Linda.
Hi, Linda. So we've not done one of these Facebook Lives before with both of us. So we've spent quite a lot of time this morning or this week looking at different ways of doing it with both of us so we can do it together. So we're hoping that this is going to be okay, this format that we're using. I think with a lot of people on the internet at the moment, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the internet can be quite slow. So bear with us if it sort of dips in and out. Any questions that we don't know the answers to, we'll go away and find out, and we'll do a post on the Beauty Club page about it. But hopefully between us, we'll be able to answer the questions that you've got regarding makeup.
It does go a little bit blurry, so we're sorry if the screen goes a little bit blurry. We'll just blame everyone else that's on the internet. But it does dip in and out, so it shouldn't last for too long. But hopefully be able to see us as much as you can. So we hope you're surviving lockdown. Justine and I were saying we've both got much more makeup on today than we normally wear, which is
definitely
hilarious. I think we've both been very natural, just wearing kind of minimal. Most days I just put a little bit of mascara on and that's about it.
I think it's getting a balance, isn't it? It's nice sometimes to put your makeup on, especially if you've got a bit more time. But I'm also trying to give my skin a little bit of a breather because it's not been great over the last few months. So to sort of just make sure I'm putting all the right sort of creams and things on to look after my skin, so that when I do go back to wearing makeup every single day, then my skin will look better, because it's all about the skin underneath anyway.
Absolutely.
Really.
Yeah. So have you found it's helped you?
Yeah, I think so, because sometimes you just feel like you're low, and I've got a cream that I'm using at the moment from the doctor, as well as like different moisturisers, and some of those things don't always sit very well onto makeup anyway. You find that they don't really, especially because I'm trying to really hydrate my skin. Sometimes when I'm putting my foundation on over the top, it's not really working as well as it usually would do. So it's quite nice just to let those things sink in and not have to worry. Morning, Claire. Nice to see you all.
Thanks for joining us. I was just going to say, as it's got sunny, I've been using this is an Emma Hardy. See that? This is a Protective Prime SPF 30. So I wear either a 30, just get it in the right place so you can see that.
Is that a moisturiser or is it?
It's more of a primer.
Oh, lovely.
But I think it does. I think it does moisturise as well, so it hydrates, but obviously it's got the SPF. So obviously we always recommend using a high SPF. I try not to put my face in the sun at all anyway, and then I just use fake tan to blend.
That's the best thing to do, really. But yeah, to have an SPF. I think sometimes in foundations they have such a low SPF, some like 7 or 10, and I don't really feel like that's enough. And also, I never know how much coverage they're expecting you to put on with those foundations. So it's better to have a moisturiser or primer underneath that's got a higher factor.
Definitely, I don't trust SPFs in foundation and makeup. Really, it's good that they have it, but I think you need another product.
Yeah,
well,
definitely.
Thanks.
Compliments.
Yes, you can see that I've been sitting out in the garden. Yes, my hair is getting so blonde.
So you put your face out the sun with a visor, but your hair is still exposed.
Yeah, hopefully the grey won't show through quite as much.
I think that's going to be an issue for a lot of us, isn't it, during lockdown?
Yeah. I'm dreading that moment.
Yeah,
so
I've got my gel nails on, and they're on their last legs, I think. So could be the last.
Nice. They're still looking.
Yeah, 3 weeks. So
before we morning, Anne. Thanks for joining us. We're just looking for your questions. So far away at any point with your questions. There's a slight delay, so if it seems like we're taking our time to answer, it's just because of that little bit of delay. So we just want to go through hygiene again while under lockdown. So just reach for my products here, and you've got one as well, haven't you? And so obviously you're going to be washing your hands and keeping everything super clean, so you can keep all your makeup and brushes super clean as well, with either an anti-bac hand wash like this, and this is an anti-bac spray, so an alcohol-based spray. You can just, this one's really nice. It's a fine mist, and you can spray it over all of your makeup without damaging it. And in between, if you don't want to wash your brushes all the time, what you can use is one of those makeup brush cleaners, and then just spray with the anti-bac, just so you've got them super clean.
It makes such a difference as well if you're using clean brushes. I know it's a bit of a performance, but whenever I clean my foundation brush, the next time you put your foundation on with it, it just feels amazing, I think. And also it stops with the eyeshadow brushes, it stops it looking muddy if you're using light colours and dark colours. So it is worth doing. I've just got an antibacterial makeup spray here. So you can use these on brushes, but also if you've got like a palette, something, I keep putting it over in the wrong side.
Yeah.
You can just spray that over and let that be absorbed, and that keeps it sort of bacteria free. So and obviously hand sanitizer if you can get hold of them. So they're all useful things to have at the moment. And some of us have got a little bit more time to clean our brushes. I've seen quite a few people posting on Instagram and Facebook all their pristine brushes. So it's a good time to sort things out. So we've got some questions come up already. Leanne said, do you recommend a separate SPF then moisturiser? So I think
it depends if your moisturiser's got SPF in it, doesn't it?
So I use the moisturiser with a factor 30 in it by Paula's Choice, and that's the only thing that I rely on for my SPF. But if I had a different moisturiser that I really liked with no SPF, then I would look to use a primer with SPF in.
Yeah, it just depends what products you're already using. So yeah, because I was using Charlotte's widget cream, but there's no SPF. I tell a lie. There's an SPF 15.
It's not very much. I don't think it's
enough. Definitely not for the face. So that's great in the winter. SPF in this country, SPF 15 is fine for the winter, but not for the summer. You need at least a 30 and preferably a 40 or 50. I've just ordered some SPF 40 for my face, because I find my skin just goes a lot oilier, more combination, I would say, in the summer. And if I'm putting makeup over the top, I don't want it to slip off. So that's the only thing I find. If you don't really want to use a sun cream product, if under makeup, because they can be a little bit too rich. So now there is a good range of skincare products with SPF in.
There's also a primer that MAC do called Prep and Prime, and it's got a factor 50 in it. And I like that because I've got more combination skin, so I have oil coming through. And I find that obviously it's got the SPF in, but it really grabs hold of the makeup and makes it long lasting. So I think that would be a good product to use in quite hot weather because it sort of covers lots of different bases, so to speak. So
yeah, that's really good. So would you spray that? Do you spray that before moisturizer or?
The Prep and Prime? No, it's actually like a cream. So
okay, sorry.
I put my moisturiser on, let that sink in, and then put that primer on underneath my foundation.
Brilliant. So you've got the primer and this SPF in one. So there's a whole range of different combinations, isn't there, that you can do. So it's about finding what works for you. I was just going to go back to Linda's question, just on the. I don't know how to say this. Linda just asked about the product name, the anti-bac. This one, what was your one?
My one is it's by the Pro Hygiene collection. Why can't I put it? Oh yeah, Pro Hygiene collection antibacterial makeup spray. Is that one of yours?
I don't want. Do you want to pronounce this one? I don't want to even.
Cupro Pro. Did you get that from the wholesalers?
I got that one from the wholesalers. And
we can always pop the links of the products on our page, can't we?
Definitely.
You know, have a look for those links for you.
Yeah, you can have a look. You can order those on.
The makeup brush cleaner you were talking about, Superdrug do one, don't they? The spray one.
They do. Yeah, I haven't got my kit one.
No,
at the moment. But yeah, in Superdrug you can get, but they're not anti-bac, are they? They're just
No.
purely the brushes. So you need an anti-bac spray as well.
Yeah.
Particularly at the moment.
Claire is asking the best mascara you recommend.
We all have different opinions on mascaras because it's so subjective. It depends what your natural lashes are like. But do you want to say, Justine, what ones you like?
I think for me it's about the brush. So I like a traditional mascara wand, which you know, where they're quite big, the sort of ones that we've had for years, because I want volume and length to my lashes. So I really like the Urban Decay Perversion mascara. In our kit though, we quite like the Maybelline ones, don't we? I'm just I don't think I've got that one. Big Colossal Big Shot, but it's a different one, the one that you like, isn't it, Leanne?
I've just got the Colossal, so it's not Big Shot. So I think it's got a slightly different.
Right. I've got all the different ones that they do, but Maybelline do a really good range of mascaras, don't they?
I think sort of well-known ones are Maybelline, as sort of high street Maybelline. Lancome have always been renowned for fantastic mascaras. A lot of people like Dior. It's such a personal thing, and it is to do with the wand shape, partly wand shape and partly formula. Obviously, with our kits, when we're working professionally, we use disposable mascara wands, so that does impact it a little bit because it's slightly different. When you're buying your mascara, you know, you're buying half for the formula and half for the wand. So, but I just particularly like, and something that we were talking about earlier is that I've got a waterproof and a non-waterproof, and I find, because my lashes are really quite straight, I use eyelash curlers every day. This looking contraption, so a lot of you use them. I have to, because if I just put mascara on without using the eyelash curlers, you're not even going to be able to see the mascara. Justine, on the other hand, has got amazingly long, curly, beautiful lashes, which I'm very envious of. So we're totally different.
I quite like Benefit. I think Benefit do really good mascaras and brow products, and the one I like is They're Real. It's got quite a narrow wand actually, which is quite unusual for the sort of wand that I would go for. But the formula is water resistant as well, so it's more difficult to get off. You need a special makeup remover, but it does last, and it gives your lashes, you can really coat every lash. But I did have that in my professional makeup kit, but then because I was using a disposable wand with it, it was a bit of a waste really. So and I found that the Maybelline mascaras do a good job. Like this one from MAC, I'm going to do it the wrong way around again. It's called Insta Curl, and that is supposed to actually curl your lashes whilst you put the mascara on. As it dries, it helps the lashes to curl and hold it in place. So something like that. So as Leanne says, it really depends what you're looking for. If you want something that's going to help to curl the lashes, or to be waterproof, or if you have sensitive eyes. There's lots and lots of different formulations out there. What I would say is, if you find a wand that you like, stick to that type of wand within any brand that you're looking at. Hope that
thank you, Catherine. Yeah, their Real Mascara Primer is amazing. So yeah, a mascara primer.
Yeah, that's another thing I would say, because that kind of covers. I know, see Melissa, hi Mel, has said she usually has lash extensions and what can help them grow. Now I'm going to do a video on that over the next few days to post for our Makeup Monday. But one of the things would be to go back to using your mascaras again. Look at eye mascara primers, like Catherine has said. I have seen some. I don't know whether they're Maybelline or what brand they are, where they've got the primer one end and the mascara the other end, so they're all in one, and you paint the primer on first and then you go over with your mascara. So that will really help. And of course, because you've been without your eyelash extensions, or because you've had your eyelash extensions for a while, you will feel like you've got no lashes now, even though that's not the case. It's just what you're used to. So it's just getting back used to seeing your natural lashes, allowing them to grow, and looking at some of the eyelash serums that are out there, because they can be really effective. Do have to give it a little bit of time for it to work. One that I know that's really good that I've used myself is Revitalash. It's quite expensive, but it does work. You probably see a result within 4 to 6 weeks.
Results, yeah.
But there are other ones out on the market, so I would just have a look at those and look at the reviews of them. It's so simple. Revitalash is like a little eyeliner, and you literally paint it on there and there at night, and that's it, done. And because you're doing it on the top lashes, it goes through to the bottom lashes as well. And you'll find that once it works on your lashes, you won't have to keep using it every day. You can just use it every so often when you feel like they need a bit of extra growth. So I hope that helps, but I will be doing a video on that, probably saying all of the above that I've just said.
Hi Beth, thanks for joining us. Beth's she's stuck in New Zealand, so it's really late there. It must be midnight or something. Yeah. They're way ahead of us time. Yeah. So thanks very much for joining us. Just going back to the eyelash curlers, Leanne. So what I do is, I've just done a video on eyelash curlers this morning, but what I do is I put this at the base of the lashes, hold for about 5 seconds, and then move it up to about the middle of the lash, hold for another 5 seconds to get that nice kind of curl. If you just hold it at the base, it kind of, or on mine anyway, it tends to kind of go straight up. So do it twice at different places on your lash, just to get that nice, lovely curl to the lash.
Yeah, that's a good tip, actually, isn't it?
Hello, Sandra. Thanks for joining us. What are we going to next? What have we got?
Well, we were asked, we have been asked a couple of questions before we came online. One of them was from Catherine, was about purple eyeshadow and suggestions for how to use that, because it can be quite a scary colour to use. Now, Leanne and I were discussing this beforehand. Obviously you've got like a lot of different ranges of purple. Some could be more, like people might call this purple. I would say it's more like of a burgundy palette. This is the MAC ×9 palette. This
more like an aubergine sort of purpley, yeah.
So I mean, we love this palette, don't we, Leanne? We use this quite a lot.
Yeah, it's one of our faves.
Yeah,
the colours are really in there. You know, there's pinks in there. There's the lovely aubergines.
So what you've also to look for a palette that's got different textures to it. So you can see, like, this is quite shimmery, but then you've also got some mattes in here which are quite good to define the crease. So I would suggest getting a palette that has lots of different colours in, or even if it's within the purple sort of spectrum, or you could go for something like this. You'll probably like this, Catherine, as well. This is an Urban Decay palette, but you see there's still like some purples in it and pinks, as well as other colours. So you can play around with those colours, putting them with some of these sort of, sorry, I'm going back to front here, these sorts of colours, using purple more as an accent rather than all over the eye area. So you might want to use different colours on the eyelid, for example, a rose gold or a silver, and then using the purple on the outside edge or underneath, like I've done here, where I've got a little bit of shadow underneath the eye and on top of the eye. So sticking to it for those purposes, really, I think.
Yeah, complementing with other colours, but like neutral colours, like greys or not browns that are not too warm, so not too reddy. They're quite flat, kind of grey browns. They look really, really lovely with purples. Like Justine was saying, in a lot of the palettes now that you can buy, they do have complementing colours. So purple is a beautiful colour, but use it as a touch of colour. And you also said about Justine, about using it as an eyeliner.
Yeah.
So if purple does seem a bit scary, and you can just use it as an eyeliner, so it's that touch of colour rather than a full-on, kind of purple full eyeshadow colour.
Yeah, because I think sometimes the purples may come out on your eye area different to how you expect as well. So it's about, if you get a palette like this, it's about playing around with it. And Catherine, I think, as I remember, you do wear eyeliner, don't you? So if you're wearing a dark colour eyeliner, black or brown or whatever, you could always go over with a purple eyeliner, and that really gives the intensity of it with a hint of purple. It can look stunning. I mean, you can do that with any colour really, rather than just using purple on its own. It's sort of having that base underneath it that really build up the pigment. So
yeah, always using with other colours.
Yeah. So let us know how you get on with that.
Okay, well, thanks Sandra for your tip on casserole. I hope everyone can see that. That's brilliant.
Yeah, I've wondered about that. I've heard that before, so that's really interesting. Thank you. I might incorporate that in the video that I do.
Great to hear it works. Yeah, and cheap and natural. Fantastic. We love that. As cheap as possible and natural.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Good.
So thank you. Yeah, please share your tips. If you find anything that really works for you, share that as well with everyone, because that's what we're all about, is just sharing. So we all kind of benefit from from tips and ideas from everybody, really. Bronzer from Leanne. Okay, so most people love a bronzer. I love a bronzer. Do you use a bronzer, Justine?
All year round. All year round. I love it. I just think it makes you look healthy. When you've got your foundation on, it can make it, you sort of lose some of your features, don't you? Because you've blanked the canvas. So I just always, it's like a desert island product.
It covers a multitude of sins.
Yes,
it does. Love a bit of bronzer. My favourite one, I don't know whether you use this one, Hoola by Benefit is a good, I think that's always it's a good classic bronzer contour colour. It's matte. It suits majority of skin tones, isn't it? I think if you've got a really dark skin, you might struggle with it, but it does suit a lot of skin tones. It's not too orangey. It's a really nice shade, and we can use that for a little bit of contour as well. One of my favourites is my own one rather than my kit, so excuse the state of it. But this is a number 7, and I don't use a lot of number 7 products, not because I don't like it, but it's not. I'm just trying to get this really close to you, but this is a number 7 bronzer. And it's maple. It's maple, yeah.
I always use that. I always nick that from the one in your kit, don't I, when we're working together?
I believe you haven't got one, so it's well used.
No, I've just written it down. I need to buy that.
Yeah, Sarah, brilliant. Yeah, we love Benefit. Hoola by Benefit, but yeah, this one I love because maple, it's the lightest one. You can see it's really light, it's not orangey, it just gives a really nice natural color. So even if you've got, I mean, I wouldn't use it on porcelain skin. I don't think a bronzer works on a very porcelain, but even on very fair skin, this number 7 one works, and I think it's better than the Hoola Light.
Yeah.
So Benefit do a Hoola Light version, but to me it's a little bit yellowy, so I prefer the number 7 one. Which areas of the face? So, okay, I'm just going to grab a brush. So a lot of people do kind of, they get a big brush, sometimes even bigger than bigger than this.
I do on my face.
Which does make it very quick. But what I'm going to say is something slightly different. So what I like to do, so you can do a kind of, this is what a lot of people do, they kind of do an all over thing, but I think with all the kind of contouring things have changed slightly. So I'm just going to pop my glasses off so I can demonstrate. So I've got my number 7 bronzer, and this is it's by Tropic actually. I really like this as a contour sort of blusher bronzer brush. It's got a slight contour to it. So what I do is I get some of the product on my brush, and I'm actually, it's weird on the video because you kind of going the other way around.
No,
so
that's
just
what I was putting it in
just get it the right way. So I actually do some on the side, so around the hairline. And what this does, and then bring it in, so we've got a little bit on the cheek. I'm just going to do a little bit this side as well. So this kind of, so a lot of brands do this like C thing. So we are adding a little bit of shaping, but it's also adding a bit of colour. So we're not just going all over. So we're doing it either side of the forehead. And what that does, it kind of almost kind of narrows and gives a nice natural kind of feminine look to the forehead, because we kind of get a narrowing. And then we're kind of shaping it into the cheeks as well. We are, I mean, I always use blusher as well. I know blusher is sort of not highly fashionable at the moment, but I think a little bit of pink with the bronzer does add a bit more dimension. But yeah, adding a little bit of shaping.
Yeah, definitely.
Do your bronzer rather than a little bit kind of on the nose or the bridge of the nose if you want a real sun-kissed kind of look above the temples, but just a little bit more shaping than just kind of going all over the place like that.
It's very interesting you say that actually, because it made me think when I put like bronzer on my clients, I use a similar brush to yours, but when I do it on myself, I get like the biggest brush just because it's quicker. Mainly, but it's quick. So that I spend more time doing my clients' makeup than I would my own.
We do, but you can get super quick. I mean, you know, I'm spending
I need to try that.
seconds.
I mean, a couple of bronzers that I like the matte bronze. I like sticking to a matte shade because you can get a lot of shimmery bronzers, but I think these are much more flattering and look more like you've got a sort of that you've been kissed by the sun. I love this palette as well, which is my Charlotte Tilbury Bronze Star and Glow. It's got the highlighter here. And this is quite a nice shade for a little bit of contouring and bronzing.
That's lovely,
yeah, quite a lot of skin tones. And also, Leanne, you introduced me to this, which is a blusher, but it's called Warm Soul. And you can sort of use this, can't you, on lighter skin tones as a bit of a bronzy blush. Really, I quite like this.
It's amazing, yeah. Warm Soul.
Yeah.
By MAC. I got it from a friend of mine actually. She introduced me to it. Lara, I don't know if you're listening. Hopefully you are. But it's amazing. This product is amazing because it's got a sheen to it. So it's got a bit of highlight in there as well. So let's just get my brush again. So
because with these mineralized powders, the more you buff them into the skin, the sort of more it polishes the mineral element of it, and I think it gives such a lovely glow without being too much.
Yeah, so just doing just slightly, don't get too much on the brush, but just slightly kind of moving around the cheek, and it will just give you that without having to add a highlight. It just gives a lovely kind of warm glow. So, but it's not too dark either. Great for most skin tone. Wouldn't work on dark skins, but great for a lot of skin tones.
So Justine, hi Justine, has asked what a good bronzer is for someone with rosy cheeks. Would you say the number 7 one will be? Because I know Justine's quite fair skinned as well.
Right. Fair skinned, yeah, definitely maple by number 7. Hula could be a little bit on the dark side.
Yeah.
If you're paler skinned. Yeah, if you do have rosy cheeks, rosacea, or any kind of pinkiness, and it is really, really common. So many people get that pinkiness, especially this sort of area, don't they? Either side of the cheeks. That's it's very normal. I would go away from blusher, a pinky, peachy, anything like that. Avoid anything like that. And the Warm Soul that we've just demonstrated is brilliant. It's a brilliant blusher. If you do have pinkiness in your skin tone, and particularly on your cheeks or rosacea, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
for keeping it all
good
toned.
tip.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we've had questions on eyeliner, haven't we? Evenly to both eyes.
I'm trying to see if I can scroll back. Oh yes. So what's the best eyeliner and any tips with applying, and then how to get it applied evenly for both eyes?
It is, that's the trickiest bit, isn't it? When on yourself, and when Justine and I are working professionally, it's so much easier to get it even when you're applying it to somebody else. So don't be fooled into thinking, you know, I mean, obviously we are doing it day in, day out, but it's much easier applying and getting it even. On yourself, it is much more difficult. So you'll always find, whether you're left or right-handed, you'll find it easier one or the other, and it will be a slightly different application because you're coming at your eyes from a slightly different angle.
And your eyes are different as well. No two eyes are the same. So that's makes it more difficult, doesn't it? Some people have one eye that's slightly more hooded than another, or more almond shaped. So it's about trying to give the illusion of, having eyes that are nearer the same shape.
And what I'll just show you a quick demo. I will do a video on this because this is one that everybody loves and finds hopefully much easier. If you do struggle with eyeliner, which a lot of people do, I'm just going to show you a couple of ways. So a lot of time Justine and I apply eyeliner. Oh, I'm just going to grab this. This is one of the sets we use on our masterclass, and we recommend actually is the Eco Tool. So for eyes, if you're looking for a little set, this one by Eco Tools, it's a natural brand. Get it in Superdrug, supermarkets, Boots, wherever. And it's got a really nice little angle brush. You've got 4 brushes there. Great starter for eyes.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to I'm going to struggle with that, so I'm just going to use my own one, but I just wanted to show you that little set. An angled brush. Have you got an angled brush there?
I have, yes. I like the Real Techniques ones as well. They're very good. I say that I have. Can't see it. This is an angle brush. It's probably bigger than the one I would use. But if you can see, wrong way. I want quite precise to do the eyeliner. You need it to be quite precise, don't you? And for the bristles to be close together.
I've got these two. One's flat and one's slightly angled, but they are that one is absolutely tiny. But what we're going to show you is, rather, if you're finding eyeliner difficult, and it is difficult on yourself, whether you use a pencil, a kohl, particularly a liquid liner. A lot of people expect to be able to use a liquid liner, and it's really difficult to do because it's got to be absolutely perfect. So Justine and I tend to use gel liners with these little angled brushes for the eyeliner with a flick, because it tends to be a bit more control. But I know a lot of people do like there you go, thank you.
Looks like this little paint pot. The key with using these is to always, if you're applying this yourself, to always put it face down when you're not using it, in the middle of using it, because once the air gets in, they can dry out. So that's a way of keeping them going for a lot longer and putting the lid back on properly. However, we use gel liners, but that's not necessarily the easiest thing to start with, is it?
So yeah, I'm going to go back to our favourite Burgundy x9 palette by MAC, and a lot of palettes do have darker shades in them, which you might think, oh my god, that's really scary for eyeshadow, but I'm going to use the darkest shade as an eyeliner. So the darker ones you can just use as an eyeliner if you want to, and we use it with the little angled brush. So what I would do, and you should actually find this a lot easier than using a pencil or a liquid. And what you do with this, you're actually just pressing the colour into the lash hairs. So the base right into the lash hairs. So forget about trying to create a line. What we want to do is just press the colour with your brush into the actual hairs, the base of your lashes. And you'll take the pressure off yourself and find it a whole lot easier. But I will do a video showing you exactly how to do that. It's a softer look as well. If you use powder rather than a pencil or a liquid, it's a lot softer. It really suits us.
I know when we've covered that on our masterclasses before, everyone loved it, didn't they? Because of course it opens up a whole new world of possibilities. If you've got any palettes at home, you can experiment with different colours as well, and it just makes it so much easier. And of course, if you're using powder, then if you make a mistake, it's easier to clean up. And you could go in with powder to begin with, and then if you wanted to go over with a pencil or another product, it's sort of like giving you a baseline to work with, a bit of a draft mark. So it's brilliant, really brilliant tip. And I've got Real Techniques brush here, which the Real Techniques, nice. I mentioned about Real Techniques earlier on. I'm
glad that's really working for you. Thanks for your comment, then. Yeah, it works much easier, and it looks better, more professional with the brush. And even if you experiment with the bright, if you see some lovely bright colours in your palettes, experiment with those as well, especially in the summer.
Yeah.
Brights work really well. I don't think they work as much in the winter, but this time of year, experiment with your brights just as an eyeliner.
Yeah.
So they can be a bit scary, can't they, as an eyeshadow? But as an eyeliner, they're really.
And also, like underneath a little bit, you could do with some of those accent colours, like the greens and things like that were in the palette. I think he's just lovely, and you can just keep it really light and a bit smoky, and you can even use a cotton bud just to soften it a little bit if you want to. But it's so much easier to clean up.
So both Justine and I have got eyeliner underneath as well. So just done a little lower lash. Yeah, get really close up. The lower lash line and on the top line.
Yeah.
So, and that's something as well. If you want some quick and easy tips, if you're going out to when you start going out to work, or if you're attending your Zoom meetings and you just want to look a bit more professional, made up, but you don't want to wear a lot of eyeshadow and stuff, just use your eyeshadow powders with your angle brush as an eyeliner with a bit of mascara. You'll be amazed at how lovely your eyes will look.
And I think, Melissa, you were saying, about you're not having eyelash extensions. It's about adding that extra definition that the lash line will really help with that. And I think sometimes it's nice to have a break from the eyelash extensions anyway, and it can make your eyes really look more open. So it's an opportunity, isn't it? I suppose.
Yes.
In this position.
Something I've used on ladies that they may have hair loss because of one reason or another, or they might be having chemo treatments. So I always recommend, and obviously they can't wear the mascaras, they've lost their hair, and they just feel like they've lost their eyes aren't visible. So one thing that really helps is using eyeliner. If you have any hair loss, or anybody that's going through chemotherapy and they just don't feel very great about themselves, you can get them to use an eyeliner just to really open up their eyes.
Yeah, good tip.
So that's good. I don't want to. I just want to go back to Beth with the rosacea. Because it is super common, isn't it, rosacea? Just so the slight pinkiness on the cheeks, it tends to be in this area here. So products you can use, because sometimes you don't want to put loads and loads of foundation on to cover it. It ends up looking kind of thick, and sometimes it won't cover it anyway. So what we need to do is actually colour correct. And have you got your have you got the reduce redness or a green primer, Justine? Have you got that?
Oh, sorry, yes, I have. Yeah, I'll use that quite a lot, but it's also got a lovely texture to it, hasn't it? Did you want me to get it out of my kit?
Yes, please. Yeah. Yeah, so that's Justine's just going to show you a product that we use often. Yeah, this one here, we love it. Smashbox do great eye primers, but if you do suffer with that pinkiness, redness on the cheeks, it's absolutely fantastic for just toning it down.
So you only need a tiny amount, don't you?
Small amount. You're not going to turn into the Incredible Hulk. It becomes invisible.
You just have to make sure that you blend it in, because the green will neutralise the redness on the skin.
Perfect.
That
Yeah.
does really help. But it's got gorgeous texture to it, hasn't it? So when you put the foundation on over the top, then it just feels lovely.
It smooths. Yeah, it smooths the look of your skin, your makeup over the top. So yeah, that's a fantastic one. Thank you for asking that, Beth. What have we got? We've got
Sarah was saying that you've got a Real Techniques contour brush that lets you adjust the brush size depending on the degree of contouring you want. Now, I haven't seen that one, and I love Real Techniques. So
fantastic. No, I haven't seen that one either. So
let's have a look at that.
Yeah, we'll definitely have a look for that one.
People like using eyeshadow as eyeliner, so that's all good. Leanne, can you let me know what shade of lipstick you're wearing, please? And also, have you used a lip liner as well?
Thank you. Thank you, Justine. I am wearing today, this is MAC's new range of Love Me lipsticks. And this is French Silk. So it's like a peachy colour. Again, I love it for summer. It's probably not one that I would wear so much. It looks a lot lighter there, actually. I wonder if I can... Yeah, it's a lovely kind of peachy. I love these shades for me. They don't work for everyone, but yeah, I love it for summer. It's a really, really nice one. Their Love Me is the range of MAC lipsticks. So they've got this two-tone. You can recognise them in the shop because they've got this two-tone look to the packaging. They're really nice because they feel really comfortable on the skin.
Quite hydrating, aren't they?
Really hydrating. I think they're used with argan oil. I'm sure that.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that's right. So they feel really, they look really kind of moisturising. And no, I haven't used a lip liner. I do use a lip liner for work, and I religiously used to use a lip liner every day on myself. But at the moment, I tell you what I have used, I think Justine uses this every day as well, and we're showing you loads of MAC products today, but we use a whole variety, is the MAC Prep and Prime Lip. And I love this because I feel I put this on before my lipstick. So what I do is put this on when I'm doing my moisturiser, put this on, and what I find, it just smooths out my lips, but also it kind of gives a plumping effect, because I find my lip, especially my top lip, is just disappearing. It's getting smaller and smaller as I'm getting older, and I just feel that kind of gives a plumping. I know there's lots of products out there that give that bit of a plumping, but it doesn't
feel like that sort of, where some products you put on and they feel a bit
sensation. Yeah, I don't like that, but this one I really love.
I think it feels like a lip balm, doesn't it? But if you were to put a lip balm on and put your lipstick on it, a lot of the time it would just slide off. So for me, I've always got like dry, chapped lips, so I use that every day.
It conditions and it plumps, doesn't it? Do you think it really makes lipstick stay on longer, Justine?
I think that it makes them go on nicer. It provides another base. So it's difficult to know, isn't it? I mean, I'm always putting my lipstick up anyway because I think I must eat it or something. But what lip liner would you recommend with that one? If you were going to wear a lip liner with that lipstick you've got on, what one would you put with it, do you think?
I love, yeah, Justine, I would use, and I always have used, on me, I would use MAC's Subculture. So it's a really nude, natural colour.
Yeah.
It's really light. It's lighter than Spice. A lot of people know Spice
Yeah.
by MAC. I find that a little bit too dark, a little bit heavy on me. So I like Subculture or Boldly Bare,
Okay.
which are really nice. And Sarah says she's got that MAC lipstick. That's a brilliant colour for you as well,
Yeah.
Sarah. So yeah, I'm glad you're liking the Love Me lipstick. What I find they do is they kind of build up the colour. The more you put them on, the colour kind of builds, which is it's unlike any other
Yeah,
lipstick.
I remember saying that. It's almost like it leaves a bit of a stain underneath. So when you put your next layer on, like an hour later or however long, it sort of intensifies, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, definitely. What else have we got?
Right. Sandra's asking what your eyeshadow colours are, Leanne. It looks so beautiful and natural.
Thank you, Sandra. Yeah, you know I'm all about the natural. We both are really. I mean, but yes, I've just bought myself because I need another eye palette. Yeah, I just bought this. We're just buying everything while everything's on offer. Everyone's trying to sell stuff on offer, and we're just kind of trying out lots of new products. So this is by Bare Minerals.
Okay.
And it's by they're called their Rose Generation Nude, I think Rose. So I have, let's get it if I can get it open. And that's what it looks like inside. So we've got.
Oh, are they all sheen? What sort of textures are those? It's difficult to see.
We've got 4 mattes and 2 shimmers.
Lovely.
In the middle. So I've got this one down the bottom here in the socket lime. Let's just get my glasses off again. Yeah, I've got this one in the socket lime, and then I've got this one in the middle. It's just all over my eye, and then I'm using the 2 bottom ones as an eyeliner. So I use the lighter one first, and I've just got the lighter one underneath, and then I've just intensified it. So the way that we showed you earlier with the little angle brush, I did that, and I've just intensified it with the slightly darker one. But yeah, I bought this on a bit of a whim because I think it was Sam Chapman. I saw her using not this, but something very similar. I was like, really love those colours. So I've got.
It's lovely. I think that Bare Minerals, their eyeshadows are lovely. They're really good textures. They don't have much fallout. They're nicely pigmented. They're lovely to work with. So
really pigmented, yeah. If you wanted to use like the lighter colours, I'm not massively keen for me on highlight on the eyebrow, under the brow. I love it when I'm working. I think it looks beautiful, but I'm just not that keen on it on me. But I'm just going to show you quickly. So I'm just going to get the slightly softer one, and I'm just going to place it. Just bear with me because I haven't got my glasses on. But just under the arch. So if you're doing highlight under the brow, let me get my hair out of the way, just apply it under the arch, not all the way across. We don't want to see highlight so much under here. We just want to emphasize, you're emphasizing that arch bit of your brow when you're doing highlight. So yeah, it is a lovely palette by Bare Minerals, but thank you, Sandra. That's a new one for me.
I think we may have missed one. Leanne asks if she's got a sleek highlighter palette. Any tips?
Highlight, yeah. Do you want to?
Yeah, I think the sleek highlighter palettes, as I remember, because I did have 1 or 2 of them, have got quite a lot of shimmery glitter in. Didn't you have that palette, Leanne, as well?
I did. I'm sure I had that one. It's got slightly different tones in it,
Yes.
hasn't it? It's got some cooler, pinkier tones, and then it's got warmer tones as well in it. So it's got a variety.
I mean, I tend to normally steer away from the cooler tones of highlight because I think they don't look very natural. So I think some of the young girls tend to go for those sorts of colours where it can really, be a statement look. So, like, for example, with my Charlotte Tilbury palette here, this sort of warmish, sort of more like a goldy highlighter, I find that sort of shade more flattering. And when applying highlighter, I like to use like quite a small, this is a Real Techniques brush again, It's quite small, fairly fluffy, but not as fluffy as some, because then I can be really precise about where I place the highlight. Now, for someone like me who's got fine lines as well, I want to make sure I avoid that area with highlight, because it is just going to make those areas more pronounced. So I would just stick, see where the light is hitting top of my cheekbone, I would just stick with putting it there. You can sometimes put a little bit in the inner corner of your eye, and that will really brighten that area up. Some of the younger girls like to put it all the way down their nose, a nice big lot there, and sometimes on the top lip. But again, for me, because I'm getting lines around my lips, that will just really exaggerate those lines. And pores on my nose, if I put highlighter on that, that's just going to highlight that. So really, I just want to make it look like I've got a fresh, glowy look sort of around here. But it does really make a difference on the age that you are, or the texture of your skin. So even if you are young, but you've got sort of blemishes or unevenness to the skin, you want to avoid highlighter really, because that's just going to highlight those issues that you've got. That makes sense. Have you got anything to add to that, Leanne?
I'm just going to say, I just reiterate, that's brilliant, Justine. I like ones that are really warm. Going to a MAC product, but this is Soft and Gentle. It's quite iconic, this one by MAC. If you can see that, get it the right way up. Soft and Gentle, one of their mineralized range, and it does exactly what it says on the tin. It is warm and it's really soft. So again, it would be, I'll go to the other cheek this time. Yeah. So
lovely.
But like Justine said, tops of the cheeks, but like Justine said, just be careful if, and I have crow's feet lines as well, you don't want to highlight that. So just be careful. And there's different degrees of highlight, isn't there? So some are a lot softer, some are, full on highlight, and very blingy.
Yeah.
Depends what age you are, and like Justine says, how your skin is.
Yeah.
Hello, Perry. Thanks for joining us. Nice to have you with us. I hope everyone's enjoying it.
Hi, Katrina. It's lovely to see you. Vitalash Advanced Eyelash Conditioner is crazy good. Oh, good. So you've enjoyed using that as well. I have recommended it to a lot of people, and I've always had really good feedback from that. Now, QVC UK used to stock it. The other day I couldn't see that they had it, but that is a good place to buy it from, because they give you a money back guarantee, so you get the opportunity to try it, and if it doesn't work for you, then you can return it and get your money back. But as I say, I don't know that they actually stock that at the moment, so there are lots of other places that you can get that from.
I think what we'll do is, like Justine said, we will put all the products that we've shown you today on the page, and where to get them, so that you can buy any of the products that we've shown you. So yeah, what brush, just going back to the highlighting, Catherine, what brush?
I like this brush.
One
is my Real Techniques, and I don't know how many of you know about Real Techniques, but they are designed by a couple of makeup artists that are sisters, called Sam and Nick Chapman. They have their own Instagram and Facebook pages, and they post loads of tutorials, but it's all very wearable makeup. They're sort of aged around the 40-ish mark, but they have been professional makeup artists for years, so they really know what they're talking about. They've just designed a couple of lipsticks for MAC as well, actually, haven't they? So so they created this range of brushes because they knew what they wanted from makeup brushes. Our favourite makeup brush that we use is this foundation brush by Real Techniques. Leanne and I both love these. It's called the Face Expert Brush. That's beautiful for applying foundation. But this is the one that I use for highlighter. It's called the setting brush. It can be used to apply powder if you want to apply that with a smaller brush rather than a big brush. What I love about Real Techniques is they have a YouTube channel as well, where Sam and Nick, they post lots of tutorials on how to use every brush, because the brushes are multi-purpose. So just because I like using this for highlighter, it can be used for other things, for putting powder under the eyes if it's a special sort of eye powder and things. So
I use my one's very similar. It's a similar sort of size.
yeah,
This is by Morph. So Morph are really good for the money. They're very reasonable.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a kind of very similar. It's quite small. The one I just did demonstrate again was a Morph one, slightly bigger. That could be a blusher as well, but yeah, nothing.
We used that one as well, didn't we? You had that one as well, didn't you?
A Revolution one. Yeah, it's kind of triangular shape.
Yeah, but I prefer this one because you can be very precise with this.
Yeah, if you've got a big brush, something like this, you're going to get a big wash of highlight. So the size of the brush will make it just more precise about where you want to put it.
I think the brushes do so much of the work for you, like with the eye brushes Leanne said about earlier on, the Eco Tools. If you've got that set, you can do pretty much everything you want on the eye area, and it does all the work for you. And I think the trouble is sometimes if we haven't got very good brushes, they don't make the job very easy for us. And that was something that I didn't know before I trained in makeup. I just used to pick up any old brush and think, oh, that one looks the cleanest out of what I've got, and not realising that they all have a specific purpose.
Hi, Katie. Thank you for joining us. I hope you're well. Yeah, brushes. I know people, it's a little bit difficult because there's so many on the market. You don't need loads and loads, just a few of the right ones that are going to work for you. But that is when you're... That's enough for a wedding, though. A wedding party, though, isn't it?
We've got two of these. Yeah.
Is that your own?
No,
is that your own?
Not far off, but...
I have about 10, I suppose, for my own use.
Do you?
I only use 2 or 3.
I might have to post how many I've got, or maybe I won't.
We need to let you know how many we're using. But obviously, it depends how often you wash them as well.
Yeah. Perry, hi Perry. You're saying for someone who doesn't wear anything apart from mascara, what would be a couple of staples? So no foundation or anything?
No, you don't, do you? You keep it really natural, which isn't, it's not a bad thing, but sometimes a little bit of concealer. I don't think Perry hasn't got, she's lucky she hasn't really got dark circles, but if I was to use, I think one other product, or Desert Island, we're probably talking about an under eye concealer, because I've always had dark circles. So, and these can be used to sort of cover, this one particularly, Shape Tape by Tarte, is a good one because it's good. It's quite unique because it's good under. Let's have a look. Let's get a bit closer. It's good under the eyes and it's good for spots and blemishes.
That's quite unusual, isn't it? Because normally
very
you use concealers for those sorts of things.
Either you've got, it does one or the other. So, yeah, Perry, that would be my that, and probably a blusher. So my 3 staples. I think I did a video the other day, but 3 products, and we'll put these on the page. A little bit of Warm Soul blusher by MAC, mascara, and do you think, Justine?
Yeah, I would 100% agree. I would definitely have mascara. I would have lipstick as well, because I feel like without lipstick, I need lipstick to lift my face. I'm not so worried about under eye concealer, but I do still get blemishes, so I would use the concealer for those. And with the Warm Soul, that's sort of a hybrid, isn't it, between the blusher and bronzer, so it's multi-purpose. So yeah, absolutely, I think that's they're good things to start with, because also you want to introduce products that you're actually going to use. If you go out and buy a whole load of stuff, then you probably might not even bother using it, because let's face it, when we go into a department store and we buy lots of products, then when we get home we can't remember how to use them, and then they don't get used. So
yeah, just though yeah, Sarah, thanks for that. Yes, we're a bad influence on each other. Sarah and Justine and I are on each other as well, because she buys stuff and I'm like, oh, I love that, I need it, I've got that. we do that for each other. So yeah, sorry if we end up costing you a bit more money, but hopefully there will be some offers on at the moment. We use Look Fantastic a lot. You can get discount. It's like an online discount beauty store, isn't it? Beauty Bay.
We're very careful about where we buy them from, though, because I wouldn't buy stuff from eBay or any website where it's in, say, like a palette that might normally cost you £40, but you can get it for 20. I would avoid that. And Leanne has done a video, I don't know if we've posted that yet, but about fake and real products. So it's very easy to buy things that are fake, and then and you're just wasting your money, really. So we do make sure we always go to those sort of well-known websites to buy our products.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy. I do do a lot of online shopping on Amazon, but I wouldn't buy makeup on Amazon.
No, I wouldn't.
Just in case it's. But yeah, 4 things if you're want a quick look just for going out or going to work: mascara, under eye concealer, a little bit of natural blusher and lipstick. Perry, so yeah, perfect.
Sometimes you can get actually Bobbi Brown do a blusher. I can't remember what it's called now, but it's a blusher, but you can use it as a lip stain as well. So that's sort of like a multi-purpose product. And then that's
2 in 1. Not all kind of multi-purpose products are that great, but there are a lot of good ones out there as well. It depends what you go for. So
this is a good question for you, Leanne. Do you use, this is from Sandra, do you use or have tried any of the natural makeup brands? And if you do, have you got ones that you'd recommend?
So Tarte is probably my favourite at the moment. This one, because they do a vegan range. A lot of their products are vegan. So I'm trying out, and they've had special offers on. So I'm trying out a lot of the Tarte products. It comes direct from the States, still being delivered at the moment. Or you can get it on QVC. QVC is pretty good because they do a money back guarantee. So you can try it, and if you don't like it, then you can send it back, can't you?
Yeah. And they do sets as well, which can be quite good value, and demonstrations as well of the products, so you can see how they suggest that you use the products, which I think is helpful.
They've got a really good website. Yeah, it is a natural beauty range. So a lot of it's vegan, waterproof. It's that's why I'm trying a lot of it out, because I think it's pretty amazing. The shape. This is the foundation. I'm wearing this today.
Looks good.
And it's really light. I thought it was going to be a lot heavier than it is, but it's actually really light, and it's a long wear foundation. Yeah. So even though we did our foundation wardrobe video,
we need to do another one.
We need to do another one. This is added to my foundation.
It could be like all the foundations that we bought during lockdown wardrobe.
Yes. So they were doing, I got this for, I think, £20 instead of 30.
That's good.
So
it's in the right colour, isn't it?
I really like it. Really, really like it. So you can't even feel it on your skin, which is really nice. And as a more natural range and that's vegan as well, it's a win-win. So
I think Charlotte Tilbury is quite a good brand as well. And when you go on their website, you can look up to see what if you were trying to avoid certain ingredients within products, it would say. So when I've looked that up before, that's been quite useful.
And Katie's asked for a glowing primer or base to wear alone. So Katie, you have got your Marcel, which is lovely. That's a really nice base, kind of like a BB cream. For those of you who don't know about BB creams, it's a bit like a tinted moisturiser, but they have primers in, concealers, and they're really easy to wear. And can look really nice. The only thing is, I'd say they're not quite as long wearing as a foundation. So they're a lovely product, an all-in-one product. So you don't generally have to use a moisturiser as well, but they don't stay on as long. So I'm just going to show you actually. So this is another one by Tarte. So I got them as well as the at the same time as the face tape foundation, multitasking foundation. It's a bit like a BB cream.
Ooh.
So, and it's really nice. I don't use moisturiser underneath, and it doesn't last as long. It's great particularly if you've got a drier skin. If you've got super oily skin, I think you would struggle a little bit. But it's a lighter texture. So again, it looks even more natural than the face tape. I don't think they have, the only thing I don't like about Tarte is I don't think they have SPF in, but then you can use that in another product.
Yeah, because I was going to say something that might be worth looking at as well is, you know, the IT Cosmetics, they do a CC cream that's got a factor 50 in it, and it's quite full coverage, even though it's a CC cream, which is normally a bit more on the skincare side of foundations. But they do different, they do one that's very good for oily skin, so it's mattifying, but I think they do an illuminating one as well. The beauty of that product is they do say it's an all-in-one, like moisturizer, primer, foundation, so it might be worth looking at that. You might be able to get that on QVC. I personally really love the Laura Mercier primer, which is the Radiance one, but I wouldn't wear that on its own. I always put foundation over the top of that.
Have you got that to show, that illuminating primer?
No, because that's in my personal primer wardrobe. However, what I have got is I've got a MAC Prep and Prime skin based visage. That's got that's a little bit illuminated. That's just a primer, and it gives a nice sort of illumination to, I don't know how well you can see that, but to the skin. You sort of compare those. I know it's not very easy to see on my laptop camera, but you know, there's loads of products out there. That's just feels really nice as a primer, and it's got that little bit of a glow to it. So yeah, those are the things that I would recommend. I think Katie always asked about. Katie also asked about an eye base. Do you recommend to wear alone or under eyeshadow?
Eye base, yes. So I've got one here. This is a glow skin.
Yep. I've got that one.
Eye primer. So an eye primer's different to a face primer. Sometimes they do say both, don't they? But it's a different product. So these are, and you only need a tiny amount, which is why they come in tiny little tubes. And you just put a layer of this just on the eyelid from the crease line to the lash line. You can put it all over if you want to.
I have to put it all over because I'm so oily on my eyelids. I have to put it all out to the brow.
Yeah, so the eyelid is the oiliest part of the face because it's a working part and it enables us to open and close our eyes comfortably. And what the eye base does, or eye primer, it just absorbs that oil so that whatever you're putting over the top eyeliner, just make sure that it stays put so it doesn't slip and slide, doesn't crease, things like that, because potentially if you don't use an eye base or an eye primer, some people are fine, they don't need it, but if you do find your eyeshadow creasing and things, then it's just brilliant for making sure that it all stays put. And if you do find that you get some creasing, just make sure you smooth out the creasing before you put the next layer. So if you get a little creasing, just with your finger, just go over just to make sure you get rid of that, otherwise it'll come through to the next layer.
I've got a MAC one here as well, which is the 24-hour extend eye base, which I love to use. I love both of those products, actually.
Urban Decay do a good one, don't they, as well?
Yeah. I wasn't so keen on that for me personally, but I think it depends, like, because if I really do need to use an eye primer or else my eye makeup will slide off, it depends. If it's not really a problem for you, then I think maybe the Urban Decay one's enough, but it wasn't enough for me. Another one that's quite good if you want to neutralise the, you know, if you were looking at a base, wearing a base on its own, Katie, is you can get like the paint pots by MAC. So it's a little bit like a cream eyeshadow, I suppose, but what you can put that over the eye, or it will neutralise any redness that you might have to the eyes, and then that will set, and you can use that as a base to either put eyeshadow on top or wear it on its own. And they do a wide range of colours, so that's another little tip there.
What else was I going to? What else?
How often do you recommend washing brushes, and anything in particular you use? I would say personally, I would clean my brushes once a week, or maybe more at the moment, especially where I've had skin problems. Things like my foundation brushes and concealers, I've been washing those a lot more often just to make sure that I'm not spreading anything. I don't know that anything can be spread, but it's just nice to have clean brushes. I tend to use washing up liquid or baby shampoo. We have got a tutorial on the Beauty Club page, and also we have a YouTube channel now, and we've uploaded all our videos onto there. So that will show you. I might actually demonstrate how to do that. But that's a good little thing to do over the bank holiday weekend. Like my friend Justine, I helped her to do it, and she can now see the benefit of doing that on a regular basis. So I promise you, it makes such a difference doing that.
It's not the most exciting job, cleaning your brushes, but it is worth it. It is worth it.
I quite like it, which is lucky, really, the amount that we have to do after we've been working. So
yeah, okay. So I think we'll probably leave it there for today. Thank you everyone for joining us. Justine, have you got anything else to?
No, it's been really lovely to see so many of you and for you to ask all your questions. We're always happy to answer any questions on the Beauty Club page anyway, so feel free to post or to share. So, for example, Catherine, if you decide to go down the purple palette route, then let us know what you choose and how you get on with it. But you know, while we're during lockdown, then we're happy to do more of these if people find them useful. And if there's anything you'd like us to do covering videos and things, just let us know.
Yeah, we'd love you to share everything with us. And yeah, we'll probably do another one maybe in a couple of weeks' time. So if you've got any other questions, but yeah, have a look at the videos on YouTube and have a great Easter weekend. Hope you're able to get out in the garden.
Yeah.
Not going to be going too far. Keep safe. We hope everyone's really well.
Yeah,
and
lovely.
Board and practice. Have a little practice of your makeup while you're on.
Yeah, lovely. Thanks again.
Thank you so much for joining.
Soon.
Yeah, it's been great. Brilliant questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.